Hear me, O mortals, and mark well these words, for I, the voice of empire, the tongue of a king, shall tell thee how a barren wilderness was transformed into the throne of the world. Yea, America, whose very name now strikes fear and admiration across the earth, was not born mighty. No, its greatness was forged through hunger, through struggle, through blood, and through a vision so vast that lesser men trembled before it. Picture the dawn of the 1600s. Europe groaned beneath crowns and dynasties, lands shackled by monarchs who claimed divine right over the lives of men. The common folk, they were but shadows, bound to serve, never to rise. Yet across the uncharted ocean lay a new world, calling to the restless, to the daring, to the desperate. They did not come in ships of gold, but in frail vessels, carrying nothing but hope. Hope to be free, hope to own land, hope to break the chains of kings. When those first settlers set foot upon this wild shore, America was no jewel of cities, no throne of towers, but wilderness untamed. Forests stretched endless, winters struck like swords. Famine stalked their camps. Many perished, yet those who endured hardened into something new. They were no longer subjects of monarchs. They were men and women carved by fire, tempered by struggle, reborn as free beings of the earth. Mark it well, this was the seed of America's might. A people who learned that nothing is given, all must be claimed. They took their lives in their own hands. They built, they fought, they endured, and thus was planted the iron spirit that would one day rise against kings. By the mid-1700s, 13 colonies clung to the eastern seaboard. Compared to the empires of Europe, they were but dust, small settlements upon a vast coast. Yet within these colonies, a spirit already burned. They tilled their own land, traded their own goods, governed their own affairs. They tasted life without kings, and once a man has tasted freedom, never again can he bow his neck to tyranny. But lo, the British crown, greedy and blind, sought to tighten its chains. It demanded coin, demanded obedience, demanded loyalty. Yet these colonists were no longer the meek peasants of Europe. They had become a new breed, farmers who wielded rifles, merchants who dreamed beyond oceans, leaders who bore the fire of destiny in their hearts. And thus, in 1775, the storm broke, the American Revolution. Think well on this, for it was the greatest empire on earth, with fleets that ruled the seas, with armies vast and disciplined, against a scattered people with no navy, no wealth, no trained host. By every law of power, America should have perished, but wars are not won by numbers. Wars are won by will. Behold George Washington, not enthroned as a king, but standing as a servant of his people, clad not in splendor, but in resolve. His men were ragged, bare of shoes, starving of bread, yet they bore belief. Belief that a nation could rise not from royal decree, but from the courage of its citizens. And so, against all odds, the colonies triumphed. The mighty crown of Britain was cast down, and the world stood stunned. For the first time in history, common men had shattered the throne of kings and declared, "Power belongs to us." Yet victory was but the beginning, for freedom without law is but chaos. A new nation required more than independence. It demanded vision, and so was written the Constitution, not as a gift from rulers, but as a covenant among equals. Words that thunder still: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, not privileges, but rights, eternal, unyielding, beyond the grasp of tyrants. This was the foundation of America's ascent, not gold nor vast armies, but an idea that man could be the master of his own destiny, and that government itself must serve, not rule. And from this soil grew a nation unlike any before, a nation that did not gaze backward to thrones and traditions, but forward to ambition, to invention, to boundless horizons. Still, America was small, weak beside Europe's empires, but like an ember in the dark, it glowed with promise. For once freedom takes root, it spreads as fire through dry fields. And so America began to rise, not by chance, not by fortune, but by unshakable belief in itself. From revolution's ashes to the roaring engines of industry, from the bloodied fields of sacrifice to the towers that pierced the sky, this land carved its dominion. When the world was at war, America became the arsenal of democracy. When freedom was threatened, America rose as its shield. And when the future demanded pioneers, it was America that reached beyond Earth into the stars themselves. But know this, O listener, greatness is never gifted. It must be earned, fought for, guarded with every generation. America did not claim the throne of power by bowing, nor by waiting for fate. It seized fate, bent it to its will, and declared to the nations, "We lead because we dare." Today, the flag that waves upon its soil is more than cloth. It is a reminder, a testament to a journey of fragile colonies that became a global titan. A reminder that ideas, when born by courage, outlast crowns and outlive empires. And if thou ask, how did America become number one? The answer is not hidden, nor shrouded in mystery. It is carved in fire across centuries, because it dreamed greater, labored harder, sacrificed deeper, and would settle for nothing less than greatness. Thus is told the saga of America's rise, not merely the tale of a nation, but a commandment to the world, that power belongs not to kings by birth, but to those bold enough to seize it. And if thou too wouldst claim thy place among the mighty, then remember these words, and hearken to the voice of Red Beast X.